Everyone wants to find the next multibagger stock, the kind of stock that turns Rs 10,000 into Rs 1 lakh or Rs lakh into Rs 10 lakh. But here's the truth. By the time most people hear about a multibagger, the big money is already made. So I decided to test something interesting. Instead of listening to TV experts, instead of blindly following Telegram tips, I asked AI to find the next multi-bagger. And what happened next completely changed how I look at investing. Let's start with the real problem. Finding a multi-bagger is extremely difficult because the market hides them in plain sight. Before a company becomes a 10x stock, it usually looks small, ignored, and boring. Think about companies like Asian Paints, Infosys, or even Tesla in the early days. When they were small, most people ignored them. Why? Because humans have limitations. We cannot analyze thousands of companies, millions of news articles, financial reports, and market trends at the same time. But AI can. And that's exactly where things get interesting. So I built a simple experiment. I asked AI to scan for companies that could potentially become the next multi-bagger. But I didn't just ask it randomly. Instead, I gave AI a structured approach. First, I told it to analyze fundamentals, things like revenue growth, profit margins, debt levels, and return on equity. Second, I asked AI to study market sentiment. That means scanning thousands of news articles, earnings reports, and investor discussions. Third, I asked AI to detect sector trends because many multi-bagger stocks come from industries that are just starting to grow. For example, AI, electric vehicles, semiconductors, green energy, defense technology. And finally, I asked AI to detect something very powerful: hidden momentum. Not the obvious stocks everyone talks about, but companies that are quietly improving while nobody is paying attention. Now, here's where things got fascinating. AI didn't just give me random stock names. Instead, it highlighted patterns that often appear before a company becomes a multi-bagger. Let me explain a few of them. The first pattern was consistent revenue growth. Many multi-bagger companies show steady growth for several years before they explode, not just one good quarter, but a clear trend of improvement. AI quickly filtered companies that were showing 5 to 10 years of consistent growth. The second pattern was industry tailwinds. Many multi-bagger stocks are riding a powerful industry wave. For example, Nvidia exploded because of the AI boom, Tesla grew because of the EV revolution, and companies in defense manufacturing are growing today due to rising global defense spending. AI identified sectors where demand is expected to grow massively in the next decade. The third pattern was management quality. This is something many investors underestimate. Great businesses are usually built by great leaders. AI analyzed management interviews, earnings calls, and company strategies to identify companies that are investing aggressively into the future. But here's the most surprising discovery: AI kept highlighting small and mid cap companies more than large companies. And that makes sense because it's much easier for Rs 2000 crore company to become Rs 20,000 crore than for Rs 5 lakh crore company to become Rs 50 lakh crore. That's why many legendary investors focus on emerging companies. Now, you might be wondering, does AI actually work in stock prediction? The answer is both yes and no. AI is extremely powerful at analyzing massive amounts of data, but markets are influenced by human behavior, politics, regulations, and global events. So AI cannot predict the future perfectly. However, AI can increase your probability of finding opportunities early. And that's the real advantage. In fact, many hedge funds and investment firms are already using AI for trading and research. Some of the world's largest funds use machine learning to analyze patterns in the market. They use AI to track news, detect sentiment shifts, and identify unusual trading activity. And this trend is only getting bigger. In the future, AI will likely become a co pilot for investors, not replacing human investors but enhancing their decision making. Now, let's talk about an important lesson. Finding a multi-bagger is not just about technology, it's about patience. Most multi-bagger stocks take 5 to 10 years to fully grow, but most investors sell after a 20% gain or panic during small corrections. The biggest wealth in the stock market is created by holding great companies for long periods of time. AI may help you find opportunities, but discipline is what turns those opportunities into wealth. Looking ahead, the next decade could produce some incredible companies. Industries like AI, robotics, semiconductor manufacturing, and renewable energy are still in their early stages, and many of the biggest winners of the future are still unknown today, hidden somewhere in the market, growing quietly, waiting to be.